Hi everyone, it's me, Julie O'Connell. I'm here today to discuss a very serious issue. It has to do with Scientology and how they are attacking the Squirrel Squad. Confident Chris, as you know, the other night was attacked while live streaming, supposedly by a homeless man, but it turns out it was a setup. It was a setup in the way that OSA has this idea that it's okay to attack people and result to violence. Confident Chris actually had to have staples put in the back of his head. He has stitches in his neck, and he actually lost a tooth. This is a very serious issue. So when you're out there doing what you do, fighting against Scientology, please go in numbers. Please go with a buddy system, because what happened to him was very horrific. It's an old tactic that OSA used to use. They used to hire any thug off the street to attack people who were attacking Scientology. And as everyone knows, Scientology is a human trafficking cult. Children cannot consent to what they're doing in the organization, and it's very scary. It's very scary in the fact that they are targeting young people who are just using their First Amendment rights. Mindy was attacked by a lady who is on the Vanderpump show the other day. I literally watched that video and I was crying. For this girl, because she was clearly upset. Please go out in numbers. Please wear GoPros. There was a video that surfaced with Patrick Perry. He actually was wearing a GoPro, and he was out in front of the testing center again. He was looking to see if there was any Squirrel Squad people out there so that he could attack them again. And some guy across the street actually filmed this. So we got to be careful. We got to be careful what we do. Yes, I cannot stand what Scientology is doing. And if you are like me, please go to your local government officials and ask your representatives what's their stance on Scientology. Would they be willing to do hearings into taking Scientology's tax-exempt status away? It's important. It hurts my mind that Scientology is attacking people for no reason. I follow Serge Del Mar on his channel. I follow Liz Gale. I follow a lot of Scientology channels. And I support the effort that they're doing, and I support the effort of everyone protesting. Please go follow and like Pearl Snappy. She's amazing. She's going out there every single day and making it fun, protesting the Austin org, and apparently their new ideal org is supposed to open February 24th. So go out there and support her. I do know this. I am so grateful to be living in the country that I live in and having my First Amendment rights. First Amendment rights are so important and so key. Everyone has the right to have their own opinion about things, but I like the concept of Scientology and what the Aftermath show has brought. The Aftermath show with Leah Remini and Mike Rinder brought awareness to what is actually going on within the church of Scientology. There are so many children being abused in Scientology, and children cannot consent. When they're auditing adults, they have to say the most inappropriate things. So please go like and subscribe if you like my channel. I'm sorry I'm sitting in my bed, but it's the most comfortable spot so I don't get doxxed by hearing music as it goes by. Because they will dock your channel if there is copyrighted music in the background. Please follow Aaron Smith Levin on his channel. He goes out and audits Clearwater, Florida every single night. Please like and subscribe the new Denver auditor who's out there. I don't know his channel name, but he's out there. And also follow Natalie, Life After a Cult. Her channel is amazing. She speaks out and she's very kind and caring. And the way that she structures her videos is very kind and caring. Please do what you can. Support these people out there fighting a good fight using their First Amendment rights. I like Streets LA because he audits the police. He actually goes and steps in when these squirrel squatters are being arrested for no reason. Scientology has called on false calls every single day. And according to Teo Human, the dispatch says that the calls are escalated by Scientology, whereas us normal folk, if we were attacked, it wouldn't be escalated. I can tell you what happened to Confident Chris is horrible. On Aaron's channel, he has a link tree to help him out. Please help Confident Chris out. His phone was stolen in the attack. And it's horrific. And I'm sure he's not going to be the same since before the attack. I can tell you, when I was in that horrible relationship where my cat was killed, I knew I had to get out. It was just awful. I knew I could be next. Women who try to leave abusive relationships, sometimes they don't make it out alive. So if you see somebody who's attacking someone, please step in. Please help out. Because no man should have the right to lay a hand on another female human being. It's just not normal. So please like, share, subscribe if you like my channel. I also support other channels. I like shelling, so I support shelling videos. I like animal rights, so I watch Horse Humane Plus. I watch a lot of different channels, and I absolutely love watching horses in their natural environment. They actually deserve to be free. What the Bureau of Land Management has done is horrific. These animals are sold to slaughter either in Mexico or Canada. And it's awful. Like, they have huge feedlots. It's sickening. When a horse is so debilitated it can't even walk, it shouldn't be even headed to slaughter, or blind horses. I know up in Canada, they don't accept blind horses because no slaughter truck wants them. It's horrific. I watched a video with Horse Plus where they actually rescued a blind draft horse off of a trailer, and they purchased it for $500. When horses are in horrific condition, they cannot, their voices are silent. We have to be the voice for any animal being abused, regardless of what condition it is in. I also support people doing the right thing. I actually gave money to the Aftermath Foundation, and I found in recent events with what has happened to Miriam Francis to be quite disturbing. Miriam Francis was a woman in Scientology. Her father essayed her, and now she's pursuing a criminal case against him, but there was an affidavit on the show that was used, and she needs that affidavit, and Mike Rinder refuses to give it to her because it could implicate him in some crimes that he's covering up. Mike Rinder, as you know, used to be the head of OSA, and he used to be the spokesperson for Scientology. And Scientology has been known to cover up all the crimes within the organization, just like they covered up the crime of murder with Lisa McPherson. They actually murdered this poor woman. By the time she got to the hospital, she was dead. They were doing an introspective rundown on her because she had some sort of mental illness. Go look at her story. It is so horrific. The autopsy photos are very graphic. I actually got to see some of them. They are absolutely horrific. They had her locked in a hotel room for 14 days, and she died on the 14th day. It's so horrific what this organization has done. The organization of Scientology separates families from each other. They force disconnection. Please watch Laura FM's channel. There was a moving video I watched where she was outside the Shriner Auditorium, and she actually saw her dad because she hadn't seen her dad in 5 years. It was so sad. I was moved to tears. She's a beautiful human being, and this is what happens to families. Once you're declared a suppressive person, they can force families to disconnect from each other. And it's so horrible. Yes, in normal life, sometimes there can be disconnection for whatever reason. I was disconnected while I was dating this abusive man from my mother. But my mother is a true champion for me now to this day because I've had some learning disabilities in my life. I've gone through horrible things that no child should have to go through. I lost my dad at 14. He was a drug addict, and it was horrible. So I can only imagine their pain as they go through this, and they sit and they watch. I'm sorry if my light is shining in my eyes, but I am in my bedroom. Please be kind. Just love one another and enjoy each other and live each day to its fullest. That's the message I want to get out there. Live each day to the fullest and fight. Fight for what is right. Fight for human rights. Fight. Scientology has all these front groups like Criminon, the human rights organization that they're involved with. They have all these front groups, and then they link themselves to legit organizations to use as a PR move. There was an organization called LACA who was actually in Scientology's parking lot to give out food to the needy, to give out, they said about 40,000 pounds of food they were giving out. It's just horrific. Please support Mark Bunker in his fight in Clearwater, Florida. He is up for re-election if you can. Aaron Smith said it the best. We need to raise money for him because he has an uphill battle. He even posted something on his page about this mommy group that is run by Scientology on Facebook, and they're circling the wagon to have people who support Scientology. The town of Clearwater is pretty much dead because Scientology has taken over much of Clearwater. They don't own much of the beachfront area, but they do own much of the central portion of Clearwater, Florida. And it's so disturbing. They push non-Scientologists out. Like, there was people that were actually trying to renovate some of the buildings in downtown area, and they kick them out. They force them out by saying, we will leave you alone if we pay you off to buy these buildings. And it's quite disturbing. Tom Cruise has a penthouse in Clearwater, Florida. So he's down there. So does David Miscavige. He has an office building in downtown Clearwater, Florida. And as of course you know, the Flag Land Base is located in downtown Clearwater, Florida. Aaron Smith Levin goes there and audits that site every single day. We have to fight for human rights. Human rights are what is key. And Scientology, you know, is just so bad. Like, they don't care who they hurt or how they hurt the person. They find their ruin and use it against them and they have all these hate sites. If you go on Google, there's hate sites for Amy Scobie, Mike Pesch, Mark Rinder, Claire, Mark Headley, Aaron Smith Levin. There's so many hate sites. There's even hate sites for Leah Remini. And for people who say that's truthful, it's not truthful. These are legit hate sites. When I Googled Amy Scobie, her hate site popped up first thing. We need to start being very respectful of the people who are in there. I like how Lori Plays does her auditing. She is actually a moderator for Aaron Smith Levin. She goes and she's very kind. She has very kind questions like, do you want a coffee? Do you need this? Do you need that? Your family members miss you. Please call them. It's a way to get into their world and maybe help some of them get out. I did see, an episode on Confident Chris's live stream, and him and a few others like Jessica Pomodesky actually helped a gentleman who said he was going to relapse because he was addicted to drugs. And drugs is another scourge of the earth. I could talk about it for hours. It took my dad away. He was addicted to cocaine and heroin and also alcohol. He went through 4 stints of rehab and nothing worked. So for Scientology to prey on, people who are down on their luck, it's just very disturbing. Some people say Dianetics works for some people, but that's where they hook you in. The first couple of courses are not, that creepy. You don't get into the Xenu. You don't get into the body things. You don't get into all that stuff until later on the bridge. The bridge to total freedom, which has 8 operating levels. And by that time, you're into Scientology, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. It is true. I watched Liz Gale opening a box, and she said she feels comfortable opening boxes that she purchased when there's an audience watching. Scientology rubs people the wrong way for all the wrong reasons because they don't treat their members very nicely. It's a very high control group. Just like any cult. You have radicalism in Mormon church. You have the radicalism in Catholic church. I'm Episcopalian and I am a true Christian. I believe being kind to people and giving people the benefit of the doubt. I'm kind at people when I'm at work, but I'm not going to discuss where I work because I don't want Scientology to find out. That's why I don't post it anywhere online or on my Facebook group. I did at one point in time work for Windcrest Animal Hospital. I absolutely loved it. I can tell you I worked with a lot of pit bulls, and yes, they do have a high prey drive. We actually have a client who's a famous boxer. His dog actually attacked and killed 2 raccoons on his property, and he said, he was worried that those raccoons might have rabies, but thank God his dog had the rabies shots. But if his dog didn't have the rabies shots, he would have had to been quarantined for like 90 days. People don't understand that there are many types of dogs that could be aggressive to humans, aggressive towards dogs. Sammy's a little bit aggressive towards dogs. That's my fault because I had to take him every single day to work with me. I had nobody watching him, so I actually had to take him to work every single day when I worked at Windcrest Animal Hospital. And I absolutely love Windcrest Animal Hospital. They have a Save the Animals Adoption Center. It's run by Angie Taylor. They take in many, many cats, and on a rare occasion, they do take in dogs. We actually had a dog by the name of Kilo. He was a deaf pit bull, and when you have a deaf pit bull, they don't know their boundaries, so they learn sign language. People train with sign language with dogs that are deaf. It's amazing what they can do. So I'm so glad that Kilo got to go to a good home where the owner's going to work with him. He was a wonderful dog. Amazing. Beautiful dog. Yes, he would play rough. He would try to bite you trying to come out of the kennel. But other than that, he was a sweet dog outside of being inside a kennel. And he loved to play. And he was an amazing dog. Pit bulls get a bad rep for all sorts of reasons, but at the same time, I do understand the victims. I understand where they come from with that. But we need to be doing things to help each other out. I do support the Scientologist movement, the YouTube channels that go out there and audit these sites every single day. I'm sorry my video is so chopped up with all sorts of subjects, but I do want to get that out there, that Scientology needs to be shut down, period. Their tax-exempt status needs to be taken away, and the government needs to be accountable for creating this power group. In 1993, they got their tax-exempt status back after they raided the IRS in the 1970s. So apparently the IRS are very, very scared of them. We need the FBI to raid Scientology. Just go in there and raid them. Have a search warrant. Raid all their files to get the information that they need to build a huge case, because what they're doing inside those walls is disturbing. The abuses that they do with the children. There's policies on this, written policies on how many hours they can work these children. And when you're a child in the Sea Org organization, they work 110 hours a week, getting paid $50 a week, under the guise that they're religious volunteers. How is that right in this country? How is it right? It's just quite disturbing to me. It's quite disturbing to me that our government allows this organization to have tax-free exempt status, and yet they're a human trafficking cult right in our country. I mean, I'm blown away at the abuses that have happened in there. And please go and watch Leah Remini's Aftermath show. You might have to pay for it because I believe it's on YouTube and you have to pay for it. It would blow your mind at what has happened inside Scientology and other cult groups. I like Mary Honig's channel, Marilyn Honig. Her channel is Coffee, Cults, and Crafts. She loves to craft with yarn. She's amazing at that. But also, treat people kindly. I mean, just go out of your way to be nice to people. I know Confident Chris and Jessica Balmadessa have done that. They've been really kind. So has Mindy Willens. Please follow her also on Facebook and on YouTube. She's a teacher by day, but then she goes and protests Scientology at night. I just do what I can from the support of my home because I have responsibilities here. I can't leave my house to go and do all this stuff with the Scientology audits. If I did, I would really like to do it. So, but I have responsibilities here. Like, my car's in the shop. I owe $600 for new brakes and an oil change and wipers. The labor is pretty high down here because there's not many car shops down here in Rehoboth Beach area. I live in Millsboro, but I do live 8 miles out from some of the best resort beaches in Delaware. I love going to Lewis Beach. I love beachcombing. And I've said this many times. I love shelling. Shelling is for everyone. If you're having a bad day, sometimes it's freeing just to go walk on a beach. That's our First Amendment right too there. We have freedoms to do that. In some countries, people do not have freedoms at all. I also know I don't want TikTok. TikTok is an organization run by the Chinese CIA, so it can track every human being on this planet. And the Chinese government has covered up human rights violations over there. They are horrific at what they are doing over in the Chinese government. And also, I don't support places like Japan. They have a code called Tahai, where they slaughter thousands and thousands of sentient beings every year. Dolphins for entertainment, for dolphinariums. I do support animal rights. And one of my mentors and beautiful people who support all animal rights is Ian Somerhalder. He used to be the UN ambassador on the environment under Obama and Biden. Please go watch Living Years of Dangerously. Years of Living Dangerously. It is a good documentary, and it speaks the truth as to what is happening to our planet right now. I also support Leah Remini. Leah Remini is in a very heated court battle with Scientology for the fair gaming and the harassment tactics that are used against people. If she can win this, it could set a precedent in all other future cases against Scientology. And there's many other cases being heard and reviewed right now. Some of the Jane Does actually had their dogs poisoned. I mean, this is horrific. That's animal abuse right there. But Scientology resorts to these violent tactics to shut their critics down. So please support your local auditors. Go out and help them, even if it's just to watch them, to make sure they're safe, or to escort them to their cars at night. Just do this for me. Thank you, and have a beautiful day. Be better than you were today, than you were yesterday, or, tomorrow. Be happy, be kind, live life to the fullest. Enjoy your life. Don't let Scientology win. Don't let them scare you away from doing something that you feel is right in your heart. Thank you. Have a beautiful day.